Matching hundreds. It's a coach. You're locked into Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago. Coming up, we'll see the visiting Chicago Bears taking on the New York Giants. With that, let's get up to MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the New York Giants. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And going back through the tape, I thought they looked pretty good last week. It was a solid win, a comprehensive win.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And their quarterback, well, everyone knows he's got height, standing at 6'6".
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
All right, here we go.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that's caught inside the 30. A huge play there right off the bat, and even 50 yards.
Not the tallest receiver on the field, but he just shouted to admit that the little guy can't go downfield and make a big-time catch on a deep pass, because sometimes they'll just out-scrap you for the football.
Exactly 50 yards on that last play as they just go from 125 to the other for 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. Fights through and now a crease. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. These are his numbers from last week's contest. And Charles, how do you think he ran the football?
I thought he definitely had his moments. I did think that they could have utilized him a little bit better, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him to see how they're going to use him this week. And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
The New York Giants offensively, their starters, and one guy out wide to take a look at, Sterling Shepard.
A really mature man in every way coming out of Oklahoma. Personally and professionally. You can play him out wide, play him in the slot. He can return punts for you. He's a dynamic playmaker.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
On second down, here's Barkley. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4. Time to run through the starters on the defensive side for Chicago. They've had their trouble stopping the run, Charles. Currently 29th in the NFL in that department.
And this group talks all the time about wanting to be better, getting stronger against the run. And to me, it all starts up front. You've got to win the line of scrimmage in order to play against the run very well.
first carry for the Clemson man, Wayne Gallman. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Giants take it right down and score on the opening drive. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories. And you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do. And when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there. That nice opening drive because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And that makes the score 7-0. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards. Rosas now to kick this one away. On the return, it's Tariq Cohen. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. As we get a peek at the former #2 overall pick, Mitchell Trubisky.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
Looking to throw, Trubisky on first down. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Dalvin Tomlinson in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I'd file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Out of the gun, Trubisky. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Cohen. Gets it up around the 22, but no further. Did flash the fancy footwork, but not much to show for it. 4 yards on the pickup, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Let's go, let's go.
Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. And this is going to be incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
So on 4th down, as seen on TV, here's their resident strongman, John Ryan, on the punt. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. He's going to field this at the 4. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. A tough challenge here in this one. We'll see if he can duplicate the numbers on your screen that he put up last week, up over 100 and a touchdown.
We were watching tape to prepare for this game. One thing you noted that I totally agree with, great complimentary piece in the last game. You know, they're able to throw it pretty well. He ran it exceptionally, and they hope to continue that same formula in this game.
Complimentary with an E, not an I.
That's my English teacher right there.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set him up.
They'll look to throw. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Tyrone Crawford in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
Watch it now, Barney!
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Hard throw, incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Fourth down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. Tariq Cohen is deep for the Bears. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. A 41-yard punt there with no return, and the Bears take over. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field, and on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
They run play action for Howard. Now Trubisky. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. Dalvin Tomlinson in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack of Trubisky. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
They go play action here on 1st down. Sliding out of the pocket and nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. He was all over that route defensively. Now, they had 2 picks last week as a unit. Couldn't quite grab that one.
Patience, Grasshopper. Patience. It's early in this game, but you like the fact that they're around the football early. They're going to be upset they didn't haul that one in, but at least they're there at the moment of truth to make a play on it.
By the way, where did the Grasshopper thing come from? I know it's been around for a long time.
Yeah, you know, I'll have to tell you that some other time.
All right, back to football.
Okay, when the big guy runs a corner route, you're asking a lot no matter who's covering him. Doesn't matter whether it's a linebacker or a defensive back. Yeah. He usually has the advantage because of his body type.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Leonard Floyd in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down.
Here we go now. Green.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now back to throw. He's going to air one out. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
So it's 3rd and long, and you know this is going to be a pass. So defensively, they're bringing an extra defensive back and just blanket the field. And this is an ill-advised throw right here as it winds up being picked off easily.
On 1st down, they run with Howard. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. There to stop him on the defensive side, Lorenzo Carter. Time to look at the defensive starters for the New York Giants. And they enter play here, number 11, just outside the top 10 of the league in stopping the run.
They're not an elite unit. They're not, as what you'd say, the top part of the league against the run. They're a solid group, though. They do a good job. What they're looking for in this one, though, is an elite performance.
On 2nd down, here's Trubisky. Steps away. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Play action. It's Trubisky. He's going to loft one deep left side here. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
2nd and 10. It's Trubisky again. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged, because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
On 1st and goal, Howard. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1. Simply not much more you can ask out of your running back. Over 100 yards and the 3 touchdowns.
And for an old coot like me, I loved it because he did it on the ground. A running back taking control of the game. That's what I like to see.
Hold on. An old coot?
Coot, C-O-O-T.
All right, I'll look that up later. Now Trubisky to throw on second. And too much on that one. It's out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time. And it's 3rd and short.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more.
Brandon, it's a situation like this where a head coach writes himself a note before the game. Remember, it's a long game. You don't have to chase points early. But on the other hand, it's a huge disappointment if you only come away with 3 after a big drive. Let's see what he decides to do.
Now Matt Bryant on for the field goal. This a chip shot, a 20-yarder. And Bryant's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
Bryant now, after hitting the field goal, gets set to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
They begin with a run by Barkley. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
While we know that the identity of this offense is to throw the ball, they've got to run it every so often, if for no other reason than to tamp down the pass rush. They can't let them just tee off and get to their quarterback.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And this one's incomplete. Evan Ingram was the intended target, and that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. They give him a gain of 37.
Well, they just treated 3rd and long as simply an opportunity to make an even bigger play. Normally, you're just trying to pick up the first down, and you know where the sticks are. They took this thing way downfield. Confidence in the receivers to go up and make a play, even with defenders around them.
Meanwhile, we will not get another play as time will run out on this first quarter. 7-3 the score. Back to MetLife Stadium in just a moment.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with a football here as we begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They'll set up a throw. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Beckham with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Giants add on to their lead. So it goes for a rookie quarterback. He had the INT earlier in this first half, but he bounces back with a touchdown pass.
And you have to like the mental acumen, the toughness, the fortitude of him, because oftentimes for a rookie, you throw an interception early, you're taken right out of the game, or mentally, you check out a little bit. Give him a lot of credit for bouncing back.
Rosas good with the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. The drive summary that time, 5 plays, and it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. Rosas now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Jordan Howard and the rest of the offense heading back out there. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? And we've got movement. I think this is against the Bears here. Let's find out.
False start, offense.
Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Odell Beckham now marching back onto the field. He's delivered a solid performance so far here in the second quarter.
Everything has been good for him. And right now, if you're on defense, you don't want it to go to great. So you have to just change up coverages and looks on him all the time. Press coverage sometimes, back off and play some man, show some zone, double team him, make him really work for each and every catch.
He's hit the end zone once. Maybe there's more in the tank. A first down carry for Barkley. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
All right, here we go.
The pitch goes to Barkley, and he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
There's so many times during camp and practice that you get bored as a player doing regular drills. But how about that shed and skate drill right there by the linebacker? You do it each and every day. Get the blocker away and get into the backfield and make a big-time tackle. That's what we just saw.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Rolling to his right. He finds Beckham complete. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he finds Shepard. Touchdown, Giants. Sterling Shepard, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Rosas to add the extra point. PAT up and good by Rosas. And the lead is up to 18 now. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. Rosas now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And this offense led by Mitchell Trubisky going to make their way back out there. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown one interception. He wants to balance that off with at least one touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
They'll begin the drive with Howard. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. The veteran Connor Barwin in on the stop.
Go, 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 run, run, run.
The Bears on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 6. Trubisky will throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
Here's John Ryan now as he's on to punt for Chicago. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Giants will begin this drive in good shape, 1st and 10. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
You know, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them. Every move they make works. It clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about.
Blue line! Blue line!
The toss out to Barkley. He'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here we go now.
Now a toss right to Barkley. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley, and another 1st and 10 here.
Set! Green 39!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And 26-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
On 2nd down, they run with Stewart. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Well, to me, that's taking a big gamble defensively because that alignment you see, that's normally something you see down near the goal line. Because now, if they decide to go play action, something should be open there, and I think open big.
So maybe that's something that gets filed away for later.
I think without a doubt, you write it down, and if you see that look at a later date, go ahead and take your shot.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. So in the 2nd quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So you got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Here we go.
On play action, they'll throw. And Ingram's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Evan Ingram, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Giants add on to their lead.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
And 3 touchdown passes. You're right, he looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
Rosas now to add the PAT. Rosas good with the extra point. And the route is on here in this 1st half. That time a 6-play drive, and it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. Rosas now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Back out onto the field comes Allen Robinson. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
There's something to get him the ball. We'll see if they can do it. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
This is Howard on 2nd down. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
And now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Here's John Ryan now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. So that'll be marked down as a 19-yard punt. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals.
Let's go! Blue 90!
A handoff to Barkley. 20! And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 31 yards there and a first down.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Giants just continue to pour it on. Well, they ran the toss, trusting he had the speed to get to the edge, and he did.
And there really wasn't any doubt about that, because the scouting report told you that this guy could flat out run. When you give him a little bit of space and a chance to get there, he usually does.
Rosas to add the extra point. PAT up and good by Rosas. And the route is on here in this first half. Hardly any time taken off the clock there. 2 plays, and they find the end zone for 6 points. Rosas now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now Allen Robinson and company gearing up to go again on offense. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the second quarter. They're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on him. There's 2 sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Olivier Vernon in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year.
Well, that was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Trubisky with the give to Howard, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, this is Howard. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Good starting field position for the New York Giants here as they come up 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Boom, land it.
Here's a give to Barkley. They juked him. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Now let's go. Green.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
The Giants on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Set. Green, 39.
They'll try to run forward Barkley. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. So we've reached halftime here at MetLife Stadium with the Giants out in front. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll get started up at Lincoln Financial Field in Philly, where it was the Eagles who come away with the home victory. Alshon Jeffrey, well over 100 yards receiving with 3 touchdown catches. Next, we head off to check out another game. And they were winners in that one as they take care of the visiting Denver Broncos. 35-10 was the final. Finally, we head to the shores of Lake Erie. See what's going on with the Cleveland Browns. And that one all tied against the visiting Steelers. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race. Very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one taken from the 7th. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Again, it's Howard. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Again to Howard. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. He'll return it from the 6.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So this will be accepted as he moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brandon, at some point, these defenders absolutely have to say, we've just got to make a stand. We've had enough of this.
Giving up a lot of points in this game, but looked better on that play. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Back to throw. Fighting his way through contact. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A very solid gain of 27.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
This quarterback now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. Now Saquon Barkley, and he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Credit the tackle there to Aaron Lynch.
Well, he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
They'll go to Barkley again. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
The Giants on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 9. Looking to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready.
And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they've had no room to breathe. Forced out to his left. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the 1st down at a 21-yard gain.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, 2nd half, no quitting him.
0.
Now it's Trubisky. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. We saw this a lot in the 1st half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Trubisky, draw play, gives to Howard. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. Steps away to his left. He may try and run for this. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
Odell Beckham now marching back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
They'll try and start this drive in the air to Barkley on the check down. And he's able to get up here to the 26. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Now they'll run it on the toss. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
If this was boxing, you think maybe they would have thought about stopping this one because this defense has been bruised, it's been battered. But this is why they keep the fight going, right? They just got done with a really nice play, showing they still got a little bit left, don't they?
Haven't had many plays that they can clip, put in the film room, and smile about, but, hey, there's one.
Clip and save.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Finding room inside the 40, and he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Back to throw here. Over the middle to Beckham. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Now they pitch it. It's Stewart. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL, and a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
The Giants on 3rd down, 5 out of 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Now let's go. Green 39.
He'll drop to throw. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot, but they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Onto the field now come the Bears. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional.
He's got a man, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 32 that time. They've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
False start, offense.
So that'll back them up 5.
Still 1st down.
The false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. Here's Trubisky. He leads this one for Howard. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. On 2nd down, Trubisky. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Dalvin Tomlinson getting him once again, his third sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack of Trubisky. Out of the gun, Trubisky. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Here's John Ryan now as he's on to punt for Chicago. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
On the run, it's Barkley. No, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
Yeah, he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down.
Well, we're beyond the tone setting right now. This guy's been the bell cow all day, and they'll continue to rely on him to move the chains, drain the clock, and lead his team.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
They keep it with Barkley on 1st down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Now let's go. Green, 39. Green.
They'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
Now let's go. Green, 39. Green.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Tyrone Crawford in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15.
Now let's go. Green, 39. Green.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Ndamukong Suh in there to get him. And this pass rush strong now. That sacks on back-to-back plays.
And it has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today. But on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
Now let's go.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. His throw at the 5. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Odell Beckham with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Giants have got it on cruise control. Rosas now to add the PAT. Rosas good with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. Rosas now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Throw left side complete. It's Sims. And he'll get nothing out of that one. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes. And they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the run there, and that leaves him with 3rd and just a couple.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with the draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long, when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass him with a running play.
They'll try to run for it with Howard. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll throw on 1st down with Trubisky. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. He was looking for Jordan Howard that time. And it's 2nd down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
2nd and 10. It's Trubisky again. And incomplete.
When everything is in sync on defense, that means everyone's communicating really well, and sometimes it's nonverbal. They just know that when a receiver's in one spot, this person may have him, and he's in another spot, the next defender may have him. And they've squeezed the passing lanes down to where it's so difficult to find an open area to deliver the football. They've made it tough on them all game long.
On third down, Trubisky. The screen pass here to Cohen. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
Here's John Ryan now as he's on to punt for Chicago. Oh, it's a wobbler here. Just 21 yards on the punt there. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. This ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But, yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team. But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
Let's go.
Again, it's Barkley. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Danny Trevathan there to bring him down.
And there's a nice stop for the defense. They've had a tough time containing this guy all game long, but maybe they can build a little bit off of that play, a little bit of confidence, a little bit of momentum. Yeah, every now and then you can actually tackle that guy.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
On third down, Barkley. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say. The ball's not that heavy. Keep carrying it, kid.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field in this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. That's just his second catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player on offense beat you. Take him out of the game, and they've done a great job of doing that.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. And this is incomplete. There was Leonard Johnson who got a paw up in coverage that time. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Second and 10 now. It's Trubisky. That's complete to Robinson. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Bears on third down. They've been stymied left and right, converted only one time. Here it's 3rd and 2. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They run play action for Howard. Now Trubisky. Finding Gabriel complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. Trubisky to throw again. Over the middle, complete. It's Burton. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College. Not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no, there was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Bryant's extra point up and good as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards. And the end result is a Bears touchdown. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This will be taken about the 12. They find some open field here. And it'll be an excellent return as he's all the way down inside the 25-yard line.
But when the highlight is shown of this play, all attention is going to be on the person running with the football. But how about the group as a whole? Setting up that big-time return, yardage that we won't even account for in the box score, may help them win the game.
New York set to take the field. They take over with great field position. They've got the big lead. Most would say they should kneel it, but the key word there is should. You never know here.
You never know. That's the exact play that should happen. But some people like stats. You know, some people like to put more things up on the board, but kneel down is usually the right play here.
We'll see what they do in this situation.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oftentimes when a guy has a game like this, he's going to take his offensive line out to dinner afterwards. But after a play like that, he may tell him, instead of getting the steaks, guys, we might have to go for the hot dogs.
This is Barkley, and he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
I don't know about you, partner, but I'm rubbing my eyes after that play. Did we just see that runner not get yardage? A big-time play by the defense. It does happen occasionally, even against the best running backs who are having big days.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down.
This offense really put themselves in a tough spot on 1st and 2nd down, needing long yardage to try and pick up a 1st down, and they ended up getting a great run. Explosive, picked up nice yardage. You don't expect to be in this situation on 4th down, but guess what? It all started with what happened on 1st and 2nd down. Really put them behind the 8 ball.
They'll run for it with Goldman. Wiggles free. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's 1st and goal after they rip off a solid chunk of yardage in the ground game on a risky 4th down call.
Brandon, this is why play callers get the big bucks. This wasn't a 4th and inches call. You get into situations like 4th and 3, 4th and 4, you've got a tough decision to make. Very gutsy play here, and they pick up the 1st down.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong, whatever you call.